initial timing on Bananarama is 22 degrees. And this is why we like 22 degrees. Watch this. Fires off like fuel injection.
Sure does.
All right, let's go for a test drive.
All right.
That's why we want high initial timing for regular everyday stuff. But if you have a race car or an engine that has bigger than stock camshaft, something that romps, potato, whatever, boy, I'm telling you what, you want that initial timing up there. It is a critical deal.
All right, we're off.
All right, now that high initial timing, it's responsive and you just barely crack the throttle and you're moving. That means your economy is going to come up from just that adjustment alone. And that's not the adjustment we use for economy. So, Jacob.
So, Pop.
We've been talking about doing a video about distributors again.
Mm-hmm.
And this time we're going to go ahead and finish it off about how to get the proper initial, centrifugal, and vacuum into your distributor. All right. So we're going to go ahead and show a couple things on the distributor machine and how we get there. Because the factory set most timing somewhere between 0 and 10 degrees. And we want 22 degrees, and if we set our ignition timing to 22, our distributor is going to advance super far. It's going to go into the pinging, into the blowing up engine zone. So we have to limit how far the distributor advances. Now this is officially what we call a recurve. Now there are two things on a recurve. One is how far it advances, and the other is when and how quick it goes. Okay, so when meaning at what RPM does it start to change timing? How far it goes is, the part we're going to work on it. So we're going to do the how far it goes now, and then we'll work on the when on a later video. Okay, and then that'll show all the recurve. Now we're doing mopar stuff here. The stuff we're going to show is the same thing you want to do if you have a GM or a Ford, but it's not the same way you get the job done. Here we're going to do a GM distributor. I have a points ignition GM distributor that needs to be done, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll find us a Ford. I think I have a Ford Mustang distributor to recurve, and we'll put that on and show, just what we're going to do to limit how far it advances and how quick to speed up the process and things. Now, not all Mopar distributors are the same. Some of them, the way the springs are attached are different. Through the years, they've made different little, I would assume, what they call improvements. But all these things that we're going to do work on all the points distributors and work on all the electronic distributors until they deleted the centrifugal or mechanical advance. So this will work, and I don't know what year that was, is when they went to lean burn. That's when they started to eliminate the distributors that we can tune on and tweak on. All your Mopar kits distributors, your electronic distributor kits, you can do these things to them. So let's get started. Come on.
Okay, let's go.
All right, Jake, so we're going to get right into this thing here. Here's the piece right here that limits how far it can advance. Mm-hmm. Now this particular piece here, see how the slots are diagonal? Mm-hmm. They're not straight like this. Most are straight. This one here is diagonal. Now the way it fits inside of a distributor is it's down in here, and these little tabs right here and here, this one and this one, mm-hmm. they fit in these slots right here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the length of these slots is how far the distributor can advance. But what you would do is you take this piece here and you would weld and I like to weld it on the inside. You can weld it on the outside, and it will limit how far our distributor can advance. Now let's take a look at this piece of paper that I put together. If you set your timing the way we have it on the truck, initial is 22, we want our centrifugal, that's this is our centrifugal, to go from 22 to 38, so that's plus 16 degrees. We want our vacuum to go to 47, that's plus 9 more degrees. So what we're going to do is show on the distributor how we can get this thing to do the 16 and the 9, all right?
Okay.
So this little one here, this piece of paper here, is showing the different amounts of advance, okay? If we want 10 degrees, 12 degrees, 14, 16, 18 degrees. And your slot needs to be about 330, about 20 thousandths larger every time is the length of this slot, if it's straight, okay? I don't know if this matters being crooked. I've never done one. This is just an odd dude. Well, we have a caliper. And where did I put the caliper at, Jacob? Oh, right here. We have a caliper.
All right.
Now, you know, we got inches and metric on here. Here's what we need to do. Since we need 16 degrees, we're going to weld down in here, put a blob there and a blob there of weld, and then we're going to take our caliper and we're going to measure that up, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to grind the weld out of this slot until we end up with this, okay?
Okay.
With 390 thousandths. So 390 thousandths, let's just put this at it. I just passed it up. That's close. We are going to weld it up, and then we are going to make it so that this piece fits in there nice and snug with 390 thousandths. Okay?
Okay.
Then when you put it in, your distributor here, it will fit in here, down in here, which this is kind of sticky and old, but we'll just go in here. We'll just show you. It'll go in there, and it will limit how far this peg can fly out. As this is the distributor's rotating, it will limit how far this can fly out. The more it flies out, the more advance we have. Okay?
Okay.
So we want to limit how far it goes because we want 16. We don't want 18. All right, now we've got the springs out of here just so I can move this real easy. And this distributor needs work anyway. But anyhow, so that's what we're trying to do, is limit how far these weights can fly out.
Okay.
Well, there's an even easier way to go about it. And it's called an FBO plate. Now these are really cool. And if you look, there's a series of numbers on here. And if you want to do the old dirty dastardly lock your distributor out, I don't recommend that. You put those pegs in these holes, and it'll only allow it to move maybe 1 degree. 0 is what it's supposed to be, but it might let it move 1 degree. Basically locks you out, okay? Now, if you need 10 degrees, starting off 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 degrees right there. Can the phone see that? Okay, so let me show you something here. We want 16. This is 390 thousandths. 16 is right here. And look at that. Perfect. Fits in there perfectly. All right. So now you take this plate instead. Before you put your other plate back on, your top piece here, you're going to stick this on there, and you put it in your 16 range, and you make sure that those holes pop through. Can you see that? All right, now this distributor can only advance 16 degrees. That's it. Now let's say you go out and you do something new to your engine that affects what their timing should be. Now all you do is lift this plate back off and put it in another position. Now that we're here, we just slide this down right over the top and reattach our slots to those pegs in there, and our distributor is now at 16 degrees. Pretty easy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now how do we do the vacuum advance part? See here, we got 22 degrees initial. So now we got our FBO plate in there that gives us 38, or you can save, if you have the ability, you can weld on those and do it. And now you want to go to 38, you got that. Well, how do you keep your vacuum advance only going to 47? What if it takes you to 52? What if it takes you to 55? Well, let me show you how do you limit that. I cut one open so we can see it. And here is our vacuum advance diaphragm. This attaches to the plate that's down inside the distributor that either your points or your electronic pickup is attached to. Mm-hmm. And this cover is over the top like this, and your vacuum, the vacuum line goes here. All right. Well, this is what it looks like inside. There's a spring, and there's a plate that goes on here like this, and then this goes over the top. All right. Now, you see how it has this hex shape here?
Yeah.
Look at this one. It does not have a hex shape. This type is not adjustable. This type is. Most Mopars come this way. All replacement electronic distributors come this way from Chrysler. But in any case, what you do is you reach in here and you're going to go through the hole that the vacuum line is attached to, and it's going to go into this plate right here, and you're going to plug this in, and when you counter rotate your wrench, which is going through here like this, as you counter rotate this, it moves this plate up against the spring, and it makes the spring stiffer, and that stiffer spring eventually gets to the point that it will not let your distributor advance. It can only go so far. You only have so much vacuum, and it can only go, it starts here, it can go a long way, but if it starts here, it can only go a little way. Okay. So what this does is it puts more pressure on the spring and eliminates movement of the vacuum advance. Now you can buy these, and there's a number on here. This one here is 10.5. 10.5 degrees of advance. This one here is 8, I think. It doesn't matter. Take a look at your number, and that'll tell you the total that this can move. And then adjust your spring. Remember, it has to have the hex type end on it like this. And when you have that on there, as you rotate this little piece, it's going to come out this way towards the spring, crushing it harder and making it harder for the diaphragm to move. And eventually it will stop moving. Okay? It'll get to the point where it just can't advance anymore. There's just not enough vacuum there to do it. And that's how you limit that. What's nice about the vacuum advance is to get that 9 degrees, you can check it on your car, pull the vacuum hose off, put your Allen wrench in there, adjust it counterclockwise some more until it finally limits it to what you need. So you don't need, it doesn't take a long time. But with the FBO plate, you disassemble your distributor, you put the plate in, you put it all the way back together again, and now you are limited to the timing you want. Then you put this on and do all your adjustments with your, engine running, timing light, all those things. Just goes like that. It's pretty easy. Okay, now the only thing I say to watch out for, because I've done this before, this piece here unscrews out of the other piece. And if you unscrew it so far, they will finally disconnect each other, and then you can't get it to come back together. You're lucky if you do. Okay? So don't go too far. Don't get ridiculous is what I'm saying. All right, so that's it. Now, This FBO plate will fit slant 6. Okay. It will fit big block and small block. It will do any factory Mopar distributor. It does, I think, just about every Mopar performance distributor, the Proform, all those things, it does them. And you know, this piece here comes out with a screw or a horseshoe shaped snap ring, and the aftermarket ones I've seen are a screw. And so look out for that. That's easier. I like that better. It's just a little Phillips screw. You get down in there and take it out. That little horseshoe clip, it's a pain, but you work it, you'll get it out. Okay, so that's how you get your distributor to do 22, 38, and 47 like the truck. Now your numbers are all going to be different. Your numbers out there in YouTube land are going to be maybe 22, but that might need to be 36, and that might need to be 49 or 50. You need to, you know, watch the other videos and figure out where you should go with this, with these numbers. And now I'm going to put this up here, okay? And that is the slot size for the degrees you need to go. So if you need more time, go ahead and pause it, and then you can, you know, do your slots if you want to weld them up. Okay, I welded them up forever and ever and ever. These FBO plates are even new to me, and boy, I tell you what, I ain't never seen something so sweet. Now this is only how far it advances. There's still more to do. When you talk about a distributor curve, how about what RPMs do these weights start moving? When do they start moving? And what RPM do they stop moving? Well, that's another video for another time. So we'll do another video in the future, and I'll show you what I do to the springs and what I do to change the timing of the device. You've seen this stuff before. Did you learn anything new, or is it pretty much the same?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But that FBO plate is really cool.
Yeah. Okay, now that brings up a point. If you have any questions about the FBO plate, I got mine from Just Mopar Joe. And we'll put a link down below. Boop. We'll put a link down there in the description how to contact him. And it's justmoparjoe@gmail.com. And, you know, go to him and he can help you out with your questions on that thing. Easy to work with. Say it was $50. It comes with the plate and it comes with a series of springs. You're going to need them springs because stock springs stink. So you want to get them springs. Fires off like fuel injection.
Sure does.
So, Jacob, what do you do when you like a video?
Like and subscribe.
Fantastic.